And our next order of business is to consider the selection of the vice mayor for this year.
I would make a motion that Leroy Kane be vice mayor.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? Okay. Motion carries. Leroy, vice mayor. Thank you.
I got you to 7:05.
All right, our next order of business for tonight is our consent agenda. Did you take my list of who was doing what?
No, but you can have mine.
Thank you. Was I supposed to print that off?
Nope.
Okay. Feels more official now.
I move that we accept the consent agenda.
Second.
All right, there's a motion and a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Thank you.
And yes, Mayor and Commissioners, I do have a special request for you, if you would indulge us, please. We would like for you to consider taking up a new item of business before we start item 10 on the regular agenda. This will be part of the regular agenda. And this would also be to consider and receive a proposed MOU and speaker this evening. So I would need two motions for that, one to take up a new item of business and one to receive the MOU.
Okay.
I'll move that we take up the new item of business.
Okay, I second that.
All right, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Thank you.
Yes, and also if you would also please take up the item to receive a request for a proposed MOU, and then we have a speaker who is present, so.
I would make that motion that we receive a request for a proposed MOU.
Second.
All right, there's a motion and a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Same sign. Opposed, same sign. Thank you.
Good deal. All right, I will turn it over to our esteemed development director, Mr. McCatton, and I also know Beth Shelton is here from the EDC.
I would just entertain Lou Rebelli if you'd like to come to the podium. Mayor and Council, thank you for your time. My name's Lou Rebelli. I own Murdoch Properties in Wichita, Kansas, and I'm an industrial developer. And I really believe that you guys got a diamond in the rough up here, and no one's really tapped into it. So I'd love to do business with you guys, and I think it'll work out. I built all those buildings on the highway there in Park City, and I'm out of ground now, and so I'm looking for my next development.
Okay.
Any
Thank
questions?
you, Lou. Yeah. I don't have any questions for Lou. I don't have any. Thank you.
Thank you.
And I might add, we do have a proposed MOU that's been provided. We'll pass that out, obviously, to the audience. This wasn't scheduled on the regular agenda. It was a late addition. We'll hand them out to the commission. City staff isn't asking for any immediate action on this. However, we would like you to consider an executive session at the conclusion of this meeting to talk about some of the legal implications and propose possible routes for the commission.
Zach, did you have anything additional you needed to add to that, or Beth?
No, this is just a name and a face to the offer. So.
Okay.
And I might just add some context for those, I guess, that are watching the broadcast, that the MOU proposes the purchase of approximately 185 acres of city-owned property at a price of $7,250 per acre. So for those that didn't have access to that MOU that are watching at home.
Thank you. All right, item number 10 on our agenda tonight is to conduct the public hearing on the 2021 budget amendments and to consider approval of the amendments. Donna?
If you remember, this is to fix, I couldn't think of the word I wanted to use, to correct 5 of our funds for good reasons. What we need to do is receipt the money in that we got from the ARP Act, the ARPA funds. the auditors like to see you receipt that much money, and if it's a little bit over, they don't care, but that much, they do like to see you formally take action on that as a commission. But the expenses will not change at all in the general fund. The debt service fund, if you remember, we had a refunding issue this year that was really good for our saving of money, but it was not planned. So it was $6 million. So we have to have a revenue that coming in and it going out. So our budget authority is not hit. So that is on there. The RHID funds, the taxes were more, and those taxes passed back to Prairie Fire. And so I just need to have enough money, enough budget authority to send that out. So I'm raising it from $40,000 to $55,000, both in the income and expense. The same with the CID Holiday Inn Fund. This is their 2% sales tax in that little area out there, and it's coming in very well. So I'm raising it from $50,000 to $90,000. And then the last one is the golf course, and this is, you know how great a year they've had out there. So we are increasing the revenue by $100,000, and they are going to use that budget authority in the expense column for chemicals and fertilizer to purchase early to get ahead of the supply issue.
Okay. All right, is there any questions on that for Donna? We have a motion?
I would move that we.
Oh, okay. Okay, I'm pretty sure I'm getting the full experience tonight.
Meeting.
We planned the longest agenda we could with all of the random stuff you only do once or twice a year, just for you, sir.
Okay, well, we are going to open this public hearing in just a moment. Are there any commissioners that have a conflict of interest with this item? Okay. We will, our topic tonight is the budget amendments and approval of the amendments. Donna has presented that tonight. Thank you for that. Reading through here. Okay, I declare the public hearing open. Is that correct? I almost read the closed part. The public hearing open. Is there anybody here that would like to speak on that item tonight? Okay. I declare as well that this public hearing is closed. Is there any discussion from the bench regarding this? Now we are ready for a motion if someone would like to make it.
I would move that we approve the budget amendment as presented.
I will second that.
We have a motion and a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. All right, that carries. Thank you, Donna. Item number 11 tonight on our agenda is our Planning Commission, Sand Creek Station 4th Edition, to consider the recommendation of the Planning Commission for the final plat for Sand Creek 4th Edition. Suzanne?
Yes, Commissioners, Sand Creek 4th Edition final plat is a replat of a portion of Sand Creek Station out by the golf course. This is just a replat of the cul-de-sac right when you go in. There we have a picture on the screen.
Oh, sorry.
Green dot kind of shows you location there. And it's just moved in a few lot lines in this area so that they have an additional lot. And the Planning Commission approved this. We would ask then that you would also approve the final plat.
I would move.
To receive.
You need to approve the recommendation of the Planning Commission and then approve the final plat. Sorry, gave you bad.
Do we have a motion
advice.
to receive the recommendation?
Aye, so move.
I will second that.
Okay, motion and a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. Okay, is there a motion to approve the final plat?
I would make that motion.
Second.
Okay, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, next up is to consider a resolution establishing a residential housing improvement district on Southeast 14th Street. And Rebecca is going to present to us tonight.
All right, good evening, Mayor and Commission. I have with me today Andrew Reese. Come up here if you'd like. This is the developer who is asking for this RHID to be created, and I think if it's okay with you all, I'd let him talk about his project a little bit before we get into the legalities of this piece.
Thank you.
So Andrew Reese, and currently do some residential development projects around the Wichita area. Most recently, we've been working in the Bel Air area, but have looking to take on a project over actually off Southeast 14th Street, wanting to do a duplex development. So we've got plats put together to consist of roughly 7 duplexes in this area. There's been quite a bit of legwork that's gone into putting the project together to this point. The RHID would definitely help kind of solidify the project, if you will. Super excited about it. Like Lou had got up here and said, I think there's some opportunity in Newton, and looking forward to hopefully establishing a relationship and working with you guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, so his product is fitting within the strategic plan and the housing strategies and reports that we've already seen, looking for that entry level, easy for moderate income people to obtain housing where we have the greatest need, and that was even shown in our Kansas housing study recently. As you will remember from the RHIDs we've done previously this year, that this is the very first step in many to begin this process. So I can go through the rest of it if you wish, but if this feels very familiar, I don't need to read the full memo to you all. Again, this will be the beginning step according to state statute, and once it's published, we'll send that to the Department of Commerce for their approval. Any questions?
Okay. Thank you both.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Welcome to Newton.
Well, we have on the table to approve this. Is there a motion tonight to approve this?
Your resolution number will be G1265.
I move that we approve G1265.
I second.
Okay, there's a motion and a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. All right, thank you. The motion carries.
Thank you.
Thank you. And you are up for number 13, too, to consider a resolution endorsing the Main Street Program application.
Right, so as many of you remember, we have been working together to create a Main Street Kansas application. If we were part of the designated communities, and 3 will be chosen this coming spring by our governor, then we also become a Main Street America community. The community group working together is held with multiple different interested parties, but including the Chamber and the Community Foundation. This is not looking to expend any further revenues than the community is already expending, but putting together our efforts to become better together and have a consolidated agenda for our downtown revitalization. As you mentioned before, Main Street America approach for economic vitality has a very high return on investment of about $27 for every dollar invested in the community. So we're just hoping to make a whole that is greater than the sum of the parts. The portion of this application that's needed is for a resolution from the governing body. So that's what's before you today.
Okay. Thank you. Are there any questions?
I might just also add, Rebecca mentioned it briefly, but this comes to you as a recommendation also from Choose Newton, the Community Development Commission.
Okay.
And so that is something that that group has been pursuing, and we have had the gentleman who is the executive director for Main Street come and present to that group. And we kind of grilled him. We asked him a whole lot of questions. We wanted to know exactly what we were getting into. So this comes to you with that recommendation as well.
What's the resolution number?
That would be G1266.
I move to approve G1266.
I'll second.
Okay, there's a motion and a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign.
All right.
Thank you, Rebecca.
Thank you.
All right, up next is Zach to consider an ordinance establishing a business registry.
Yeah, this is also another recommendation from the Choose Newton Development Commission, recommendation to approve resolution endorsing or creating an ordinance creating a business registry. This will also supplement part of the need on our Main Street application, how we do outreach to our businesses. We have approximately 800 businesses right now. We have most of their information on file. We're just going to kind of send out an update, let them know that they're going to be in the registry, make sure their information is correct. This is really going to affect new businesses coming in more for order of operations because they'll come in to sign or to register their business. There'll be a spot for like fire to check off, zoning, historic preservation, kind of just an all one-stop shop. It also will allow us to market their business on the Choose Newton directory and then solicit grant and other funding opportunities like when we had the CDBG grant. It would have been nice to be able to send out to all the businesses and have that list compiled so everybody had an opportunity, because I've already had a couple people come up to me and go, I didn't know about the CDBG grant. Well, we tried our best. So that's that's the gist of that. I will stand for any questions. I believe, Chris, if you want to take it on the ordinance side on section 8.
Sure, yeah, there was one item with staff exchanging drafts. There was a question of whether or not to include a penalty provision for anyone that did not register. Staff eventually landed on no penalty provision. However, that's still in there in section 8. So staff's recommendation, should you go forward with the ordinance, would be to approve the ordinance in removing section 8. But we can discuss that if there's an argument for wanting to have a penalty provision in there. But staff's recommendation is to omit section 8.
Yeah, reading through this, I didn't see that there was any fee associated with it, correct?
There is no fee.
Then there won't be moving forward even for new businesses?
No,
Okay.
just want the registry,
Okay.
a way to contact them.
And had we had this in the middle of the pandemic, we might have been able to get assistance to some of our smaller businesses that we didn't have visibility of.
Correct.
So failure to register really is only hurting yourself.
Right.
I mean, there's a benefit to being involved in it. Yeah.
Right, and it also, speak to PD, you know, if there's an alarm that goes off, there's something to be said about having a good contact number to get a hold of somebody or a fire alarm. That way they have that information going into it. So it's not trying to overreach, it's just, we just want to know who we need to talk to.
Sure.
Ordinance number.
That would be 5065-21.
I move we approve ordinance 5065-21 and eliminate section 8.
I would second that.
Okay, there's a motion and a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, same sign. All right, thank you. Motion carries. Thanks, Zach, for your work on that. Okay, next item up tonight is consider a resolution approving the execution and delivery of an agreement to release and assign the city's opioid claims to the Kansas Attorney General. Chris, you have that.
Sure, and it's covered in a memo in your agenda packet, but Mayor, that's exactly what it does. This resolution assigns any claims that we would have against opioid manufacturers or distributors to the Kansas Attorney General. And in exchange for that waiver or assignment, the city would be able to participate in any settlement funds they have a formula established for what we would receive. So it does release our legal claims and assign them to the AG. It authorizes Kelly, a city manager, to sign certain agreements that need to be submitted by the end of the year. And it approves the city attorney to make any changes to that agreement. The agreement that was in your packet is still a draft, and I understand that the league is going to provide an updated version. That's essentially it. I think one other thing, it does certify that the city has incurred costs greater than $500 in terms of battling these addiction opioid items. And we cannot provide you with a specific amount, but we can say it far exceeds $500.
Sure.
So if there are any questions, I would stand for them. Otherwise, the resolution is effective upon adoption, and we'll go forward on the paperwork side, on the administrative side.
Resolution number?
That would be G-1267.
Is there a motion?
I move that we accept G1267.
I'll second that.
Thank you. There's a motion and a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. Thank you. All right, next up, receive bids and award contract for the First Street Water Tank Project. Suzanne.
Yes, Commissioners, as we've talked multiple times before, the water tank on West First Street, it was constructed in 1939. The interior structure, the interior steel portion of the structure is severely deteriorated. We've went through a process for several years now working on design plans. We had structural reviews, inspections, reports done, and we brought it to you then in November to approve plans and specifications to put this project out to bid. Knowing that we've been working on this for multiple years and knowing that it was going to be a lengthy bidding process, a project like this we typically would put out to bid for at least a month because there's a lot of moving parts on it. Remember, we're taking the existing tank and we're going to replace it with two storage tanks. One 3 million gallon we're going to replace with two 1.9 million gallon tanks. That does a couple of things. It allows us to keep the tank in service while we are building new, and it also allows us to be able to do appropriate maintenance on new tanks so that we can still have some storage and take down one tank when we maintain the other. In between those two tanks, the other tank, if you recall, we went through, again, a lengthy process with BNSF to acquire right-of-way to build the second tank, which would be southwest of the existing tank. We purchased land from BNSF, and there will need to be a water line that's constructed in between the two. There's some soil mitigation that has to take place for the new tank. All of these costs are included in this project. We bid the project on December 7th. As we were going through the bidding process, we were hearing from several contractors and starting to hear that we thought possibly the bids were going to end up a lot higher than our original estimate. And so the engineer's estimate, we increased it a bit at the end before the actual bid letting. And we received 2 bids from 2 prime contractors. Because this has so many moving parts, there's going to be a lot of subs on this. And the prime contractors, Preload and DN Tanks, both bid the job. The low bid was $2,644 over the engineer's estimate. It is appropriate for us to negotiate with the low bidder to see if we can get them under the bid. And we did that. We negotiated based on some of the foundation excavation details and believe that we are able to get it down to the price that is noted here, the $4,869,729, which is under the engineer's estimate. But if you recall, this project was a part of a bigger project. The state asked us, because we have 2 water towers that need to be painted, our spheroid tanks, the round tanks, the one at the high school and one on Spencer. And the state asked us, because we are getting funding through the state of Kansas with a low interest loan, they asked us to combine all of these projects together, which is a good thing for us because it ends up with an interest rate of 1.26%, which is very low, lower than we could get on our own. And in order then for us to move forward, we're going to have a new agreement with the state. Because of this estimate being higher than we anticipated, that then throws off all of the other project as well. And we have now checked with the state of Kansas, and they are acceptable to us increasing the dollar amount on this project, which means increasing the loan amount. What we're asking you to do this evening is to approve the award the bid, the low bid, to Preload, and they are out of Kentucky. Both of these contractors are out of state because this is such specialty work. And then subject to state of Kansas approval, and the agreements will then come for the new loan agreements that will have new dollar amounts, taking this into account and taking into account the increases that we may see on the water tower painting that's going to come after this project, because we can't take all of this stuff down at the same time. We have to have water and in reserve for multiple reasons, supply, fires, all that kind of stuff. And so we're asking you tonight to approve this bid subject to state approval. That kind of covers the whole myriad of the agreements and everything else. And then we will bring an agreement back to you for the increased dollar amount. Any questions?
I move that we approve the bid from Preload, subject to state approval.
Second.
Okay. There's a motion and a second. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed, same sign. All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Next item up tonight is for tree trimming in Maintenance Area 5, and Suzanne, you have this one as well.
Yes, Commissioners. As you recall, we started last year looking at tree trimming in the different maintenance areas ahead of our street maintenance program. And we received bids on December 7th. Again, we had 3 bidders. Alfred Superior Tree Service was the low bidder at $58,995. This would be for tree trimming in Maintenance Area 5. This is funded through the sanitation operating budget, and we would ask that you would award bids to Alfred Superior Tree Service.
Are there any questions?
I move we approve the Alfred Superior Tree Service.
I second.
Motion and a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, same sign. Okay. Thank you, Suzanne. Next up is in regards to 14th Street roadway improvements. The first item is to consider approval of plans and specifications for the Southwest 14th Street roadway improvements by KDOT's new facility. Suzanne.
Yes, Commissioners, we've talked about this project multiple times as well, and the KDOT's maintenance facility is going to go, they are going to build a new facility on the southwest corner of Southwest 14th and Anderson, and we entered into a development agreement with them because when they vacate their maintenance facility that's on Northeast 12th Street here in Newton, then we are going to take that facility over. But in exchange for that, we're building water line that's out there now, and there's a street project that we would be funding a portion of as well, as is stated here. What we need to do in order to get this moving, because they are moving forward with the building of their building that will be at this facility, is we need you to approve the plans and specifications. We'll put the project out to bid, and then we'll bring it back to you to award bids. And hopefully, everything will be under the engineer's estimate, and we'll move right along. You also need to approve a resolution, a funding resolution for the project, and then set the date and time to receive the bids. And we would like to set that date for December 21st at 2:00 p.m. So that's items A, B, and C that you need to improve each of those independently.
Okay. Are there any questions for Suzanne on this? I think we've been waiting for a while on this, so a little bit. That's good. Is there a resolution number? Oh, yeah, I'm sorry, you're right. Yeah, we need to.
I move that we accept the plans and specs so you can put it out to bid.
I second.
There's a motion and a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Thank you. Okay, resolution number?
It would be I-1194.
Is there a motion?
I move we approve resolution number I-1194.
I second.
Okay, there's a motion and a second to approve that resolution. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, same sign. Thank you. Is there a motion? We need date and time to receive the bid.
Yeah, that would be December 21st at 2:00.
Okay,
I move that we set December 22nd at 2:00.
December 21st.
I'll second.
December 21st. Okay, and a second. All those in favor say aye.
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 Any opposed, same sign. Thank you.
Thank you.
That carries. Okay, our next item up on our agenda tonight is to consider approval of employment contracts for a Newton City Attorney and the City Manager.
Yes, sir. I will start this out, and if I'm sure Chris will help me out if you guys have any questions. You may recall in May of, excuse me, it seems like so long ago now, all of 2020 and 21 because of COVID and all the things that have happened. In May of 2020, you authorized employment agreements for both myself and for Chris Tal, the City Attorney, to run through calendar year of the end of this year. So our contracts both expire at the end of December. You have indicated that you are pleased with our performance and you would like to extend both of our contracts an additional calendar year from January through December of 2022. There really were no major changes to our previous contracts other than the scope was reduced. Originally, of course, it was 18 months last time and now it is 12 months. And I think the only other change was the city had recently adopted a new step and grade pay scale. And so our previous contracts had the specific step and grades in them, and so we've just moved that to the new scale. That's kind of the only major changes that I know of, so.
My agreement also has a waiver of counsel that wasn't in your packet, but I'll provide to you to sign, similar to last year.
Yes.
So I had to note that.
Do you have questions for us on those?
Well, I think I speak for all of us when we say that we're very happy to have both of you on staff with the city and leading during this time, so.
Thank you.
Thank you for that.
Thank you.
You make us successful. So,
Yes.
thank you.
I couldn't do an agenda like this without you all. Is there a motion?
I move we approve the employment contracts of the city attorney and the city manager.
I will second.
Thank you. Okay, there's a motion and a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
It's our pleasure to serve.
Okay. Item number 20 is for an executive session if necessary, and it was necessary. We added that to our agenda item, so.
And Mayor, we're not anticipating any formal action after the executive session. I know you do have citizens forum as well. I don't know if anyone's signed up for it, but.
There is
I don't know if
not.
you wanna- Okay.
No. Do we typically go around at this time, or do we want to wait?
Sure
to do
can.
Okay, let's can, and that way our citizens can leave if they'd like to. If you would like to have anything you want to say, Kathy, we'll start with you this evening.
Wow. As always, thank you to our staff for all of the help and the direction that you are to us. And thank you for our chiefs and our, I guess, deputy. Well, we appreciate everything that you do and that your presence and all of the hard work you do on behalf of the city and for this community. Thank you.
Leroy.
I just want to say I appreciate this season and the spirit of giving, and I think we have a rich heritage of giving right here in this room and in this community.
Yeah, very good.
I'd like to say thank you to my fellow commissioners, the city staff members, and the community for making my tenure as mayor for this last year very easy, enriching, and rewarding. So to all of you, thank you very much.
Yeah. Commissioner Cry.
I did want to share with the public, I sat on the Central Kansas Community Foundation Board. And for the last year, we've been doing a lot of research, and we're getting ready to go into a new area that we haven't addressed yet, called impact investing. You know, where we every year, you know, we support lots of things in the community, and most of that is just to sustain other people that do things for the community's general good. This will actually give us a chance to work with economic development and the Main Street program, and actually figure out what's important to us and concentrate on doing things that have a direct impact that's noticeable. And we're real excited about this. And we think we know what we're doing, but I'm sure we'll figure it out more as we go along. So anyway, I just wanted to share that with you.
Kelly?
Yes, sir, and that is very exciting. That is very exciting for our community. That's huge, because that's been a piece that we've been missing in development for a long time, that bridge. So we're really looking forward to that. Just a quick reminder that the next regularly scheduled meeting for the commission is December 28th. We will be holding a special meeting at noon and not having the normal meeting at 7 p.m. There is a chance that we might be having a work session perhaps at 10 a.m. We're still trying to work the logistics of that out, so please just mark your schedules and we will confirm that for you. And then also, we will be having the traditional Kansas Passenger Rail Coalition Forum in Topeka, hopefully on Local Government Day, hosted by Senator McGinn. It will be very interesting this year to see what Amtrak and some of the federal officials have to say about the new infrastructure money and timing of those improvements that will greatly benefit our community. So I'll keep you updated.
Okay. Exciting. Chris?
No, sir.
Okay. Suzanne?
No, sir.
Donna?
Well, our bank account's a little lighter because we did send our $1 million for the plan upgrade extra principal payment. That went out.
Okay.
So it's done.
It is good that we can do that, though.
It is. It is
Yeah.
wonderful.
Very good. Yeah, so many of you know I started, I don't know, since our last meeting at the high school, teaching the woods class there and construction class. I'm absolutely loving it. But today, my students figured out, you know, they type in your name on Google and see what you do. And they found out that I'm also on the city commission. And so they found that quite interesting. One of them wanted to know if I could get his speeding ticket taken away that he recently received, to which I told him no. But he could always get another one if he sped through town. So the second thing they recommended was that I fire everybody on the city commission and hire them to be the city commission. I told them it wasn't possible. However, we may have some people running in a couple of years. You never know. If we don't make carpenters, we might make civic involvement people. So one way or the other, it'll be successful, I think. And then maybe on a more serious note, tomorrow, the Newton Ministerial Alliance is gathering at our church, First Church of God, and they are packing food boxes with the Salvation Army. I don't know for sure the exact amount. I think it changes every year, but typically the Ministerial Alliance packs around 400 food boxes that get distributed, as well as they distribute toys through the Angel Tree program or something similar. I don't know if that's exactly what they call it. Today, I believe it was South Breeze, or Sunset, delivered a ginormous load of toys that they had been collecting, brand new toys for children. And so just to kind of piggyback off of what Leroy said, just a great time of year. It's always fun to pack those food boxes and distribute those to families in the community that have a need. So glad to do that. Okay, well, with that, do we have a motion to move into an executive session.
How much time?
And I think if we could reconvene at 8 o'clock, at least to start, we can extend if needed.
Okay.
I move that the city commission recess into executive session to receive legal advice from counsel. The justification for closing the meeting is to consult with the city attorney to discuss matters privileged under the attorney-client relationship, and the time and place at which the open meeting shall resume are 8 p.m. right here at City Hall.
I second.
Okay, there's a motion and a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, same sign. Thank you. All right, everyone have a good evening, and we will be back in at 8 o'clock. said 10.
10 minutes? I move that we extend the executive session 10 minutes, reconvene here in the commission chambers at 8:10.
Second.
Okay.
Aye.
Aye. So you're still stuck with me. All right, with that, there was no action taken, and that concludes tonight's meeting.